When you hear the term world building, what anime comes to mind? One Piece? Hunter x Hunter? Bleach? Well, I know full well you didn't say Naruto. And in today's video, I'm going to change that. What's up guys, Restless Gambler here. And in today's video, I'd like to give Naruto a little bit of praise. Being one of the big three, I don't see any hype or talk about one of my favorite aspects of it. World building. And as you continue watching the video, I'm going to convince you that its world building deserves some hype. So as always, make sure to like, subscribe, and watch it to the end. Before we get into this video completely, I think it's important for me to establish what world building really is. Most anime fans tend to associate world building with building a large world. This is why you'll see One Piece fans mistakenly say that they have the best world building because there's so much islands to be explored. Even though I do agree that One Piece has the best world building, the amount of islands to be explored does not completely correlate to having good world building. What world building truly is creating a fleshed out fictional world that embodies the overall narrative and has its own concepts of histories and all things of that sort. When you look up the definition of the term world building, you'll probably find multiple sources giving the same definition I just described. Now going back to One Piece, the reason why I think it has such good world building is that each island exemplifies the narrative that the author is trying to convey. For example, let's look at my favorite showcase of this, Dressrosa. Even if you have a surface level understanding of the arc, it exemplifies the dreamland with a hidden undertone. As soon as the Straw Hats enter this island, it's just good vibes, music, food, and happy families. But as we continue the arc, we find out that this island isn't just laughs and giggles. In fact, they're trapped in a bird cage, being oppressed by an ex-celestial dragon without even knowing it. Doesn't that sound familiar? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Each island in One Piece exemplifies a bigger narrative, and what elevates One Piece's world building even higher is that the events that occur in one island can affect other characters in other islands. Like for example, we recently found out that the events of Ohara is the reason why dragons started the Freedom Fighters or the Revolutionary Army. A more fleshed out example is this chain of events. Thatch is killed by Blackbeard, which leads to Ace going on to chase him. We see an entire cover story of Ace chasing Blackbeard while the Straw Hat crew is in Skypiea. Ace finally gets to Blackbeard and loses to him. This leads to Blackbeard deciding he's going to become a warlord and send Ace in for execution. Blackbeard sends Ace in for execution because he knows Whitebeard will slide for his homies. Well, some of his homies. On top of this, Luffy is notified because of the news. Whitebeard starts a war and the Ace storyline comes full circle with payoff as Luffy enters the war to try and save Ace. Don't you see how connected the One Piece world is? This is what constitutes great world building. And finally, what puts One Piece at the pinnacle of world building for me is how alive and fleshed out each island is with history, geography, and culture. I talked about how each island can be fleshed out by reflecting an overarching narrative, but now I'm talking about the world's individuality. Or in other words, what makes it feel real with new creative concepts. And what better way to exemplify this by using the island of Wano. With entering Wano, we see a fleshed out homeland for unique citizens. The history of Wano with Oda and Ryuma is completely fleshed out with the citizens still holding their reign dear in their hearts. Wano country works on their own beliefs and values as the land of swordsmen and has unique geography to match. And again, the geography also works hand in hand with the overall narrative. So with this basic understanding of what good world building is, Naruto fits all these characteristics, and I'll show you how. When it comes to narrative reflection, Naruto is top notch in my opinion. As I was making this video, a cultural narrative reflection came to my head immediately. The culture in mind is the Uchiha clan. As we all know, before the 4th Great Ninja War ended, the Naruto world was victim to the cycle of hatred. Now going back to the Uchiha, the unique cultural trait is the Sharingan, and it was specifically stated that the Sharingan is the reflection of hate. And finally, to put the nail in the coffin, the Sharingan reflects the symbol of cycle. This is just one example of how culture reflects the overall narrative of Naruto. A pivotal narrative reflection through geography is the Valley of the End. The Valley of the End is probably the most iconic place in Naruto, other than obviously the Leaf Village. From a surface level, it's just a place where Hashirama and Madara fought, and the people in Naruto decided to build a statue to represent these two legendary ninjas fighting. And each time Naruto and Sasuke decide to fight, they end up at the Valley of the End. But if we dig a little bit deeper, we find out that this battleground is probably the best representation of the cycle of hatred in Naruto. So let's start with the stuff that we already know. Hashirama and Naruto are both reincarnates of Ashura. Sasuke and Madara are both reincarnates of Indra. The cycle of hatred started with Indra and Ashura. Indra had built up hate for Ashura and they ended up fighting. Ashura beat Indra and thus started the cycle of hatred. Indra and Ashura died and got reincarnated into Hashirama and Madara, and the cycle of hatred continued. Madara had built up hate against Hashirama and they ended up fighting. Hashirama quote unquote kills Madara and they're reincarnated into Sasuke and Naruto. And again, the fated battle occurs. Sasuke built up hate against Naruto and they ended up fighting. After Naruto's fight with Pain, he obtained the goal to end the cycle of hatred. And in the act of not killing Sasuke or beating him, Naruto ended the cycle of hatred. And circling this all the way back to the geography of the Valley of the End, the statues that once symbolized the fatal battle are destroyed and turned into a symbol of unison. So to go over it again, the statues of Hashirama and Madara are a representation of the cycle of hatred. This is because it symbolizes the fatal battle that occurred in 3 different generations. And Naruto not killing Sasuke and in turn destroying the statues, which represents the cycle of hatred, symbolizes Naruto breaking the cycle of hatred. There is a reason this fight happened last, because upon breaking this cycle, the villages that used to share conflict were united. I think I gave a good argument to how Naruto checks off the narrative reflection box with flying colors. So let's move on to world connectivity. This is yet another aspect of Naruto that it does so well. I mean, to start it off, the Naruto world has had 4 world wars, most of them being motivated by some sense of ideology backed with the culture of shinobi. There was a power balance between the 5 great nations, the land of fire, wind, earth, water, and lightning. When one of the great villages tries to destroy another, the smaller villages within the nations are impacted. A pivotal example of this is Naruto, who was born in a smaller village, the village hidden in the rain. He witnessed his parents die because they thought an enemy ninja from a bigger village came to attack them. All of that aside, my favorite example of the Naruto world's connectivity is the implications that come with the power struggle of Biju, or tailed beasts. From what we know, each of the 5 villages has at least 1 Biju. Leaf Village with Kurama, Cloud with the 8 tails, Sand with Shukaku, Stone with the 4 and 5 tails, and the Mist with the 3 tails. This power struggle is fleshed out with the multiple mentions of plans villages have with them. An example of this would be the Mist Village's plans with the 3 tails. Some shinobis from the Mist Village at one point sealed the 3 tails into a shinobi named Rin. Their plan was to keep the 3 tails sealed in Rin, lead her to the village, and unleash it to destroy the Leaf Village. This plan obviously failed, however. This power struggle was so great that Minato decided to sacrifice himself to split the 9 tails into 2. And this was in order to give Naruto half, because he believed that the power struggle would not be happy with the loss of a Biju from one village. The QB at that. And I think this segues nicely to the Naruto world's individuality. Even though the Leaf Village has clear resemblance to Japanese villages, the cultures and history of the shinobi world makes up for that. I mean, take cultural gestures like the iconic Naruto run and cultural clothes including shoes that always show your toes. What the heck, Kishimoto? But something I love so much about Naruto is the explanation for different things in the culture. For example, the swirl on every Hidden Leaf shinobi outfit. The cultural reason for this design is that the Uzumaki, the owners of that swirl, are being honored for their friendship with the Senju clan, and in turn, the Leaf Village. And also, fitting in all the categories history, geography, and culture, the Kage system. The Kage system is what you would call cultural politics. The Kage are the leaders of their respective nation with their own council. They sometimes meet for the 5 Kage Summit to discuss common problems that they all face. They have a long history dating all the way back to the first Hokage, who had the first Kage Summit with the first Kage of every other village. And in terms of geography, it's the most blatant in the Leaf Village. When you were completely inaugurated as Hokage, you get your face carved into a cliffside which was named Hokage Rock. And we even see a glimpse of the Sand Village's own take on honoring the past Kazekage, putting statues of them in the conference room. And this all leads to the end of my video. I've had this love for Naruto's world building for a long time, and I hope this video made you learn some more about it. Naruto is honestly my favorite series to analyze because Kishimoto's writing style is so unique and filled with clever symbolism. And if you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like and subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.